Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking on Chapter 1, Legendary, Troubles by the Score. So we completed everything else and we are going to be up to Troubles by the Score, the second quest in the Chapter 1 event quest this month. And let's see. We're going to go into, well, that's the side quest, Chapter 1 side quest, I should say, that Deadpool event. And we're going to bring in the same champions we brought in before and see what we do. Let's see. We got here, it looks like we're going up to the right, the top left, sorry. The same side that we did, and we're going to be doing legendary instead of epic. And we are going to bring in Captain Marvel for that first fight. It's hard head. If the attacker attempts to stun the defender, the stun is reflected back onto the attacker for 2.5 seconds. This ability will then go into cooldown for 7 seconds before it comes back. So that is the problem. Unless you have power of love, and I don't even understand what that meant at the time of doing this video. I didn't even worry about it. I just took in the champions to do some damage. So the key is to intercept. We learned that from doing the earlier events. And I'm getting clipped here with his reflective stun. And that is because I'm so used to fighting with parry that you got to retrain your mind to not parry for this event. So it takes me a second to get into the swing of things. But we finally get there and we're on to the fight. Let's see. We're gonna bait out at SP1 now and we're gonna get back into the fight. SP1. We're gonna build our charges. We got that reflective stun going again. So you do not want to parry to stun the opponent once that timer on the top left is there. And again, with legendary, it does not seem to be a timer. It seems to be fixated. It should have been on a cooldown for 7 seconds. But as you can see on the top left, it's not a timer that is cooling down anywhere. It is always on. And that's why I'm getting clipped here. I did not realize that for some reason. Now it's on a timer. I guess it's because of the first time he clipped me. Let's fire up that unblockable, and here we go. Vision is in the bin. So I would say again for this quest, legendary, you want to have someone like Nick Fury or someone like Captain America or Captain Marvel, sorry, so that she could do that on damage once she builds her charges and goes indestructible and really do a lot of damage onto the champion. Who do we bring in here? Nick Fury is not going to be as effective on Luke Cage. So we're just going to play around here now. We brought in Human Torch just for synergy. And at the last moment into this fight, I'm thinking now that I should have just left him off and go with someone else. But that reflective timer is on cooldown, so but it's back up now. So you don't want to actually block. I shouldn't say block. You don't want to stun Luke Cage, so you do not want to parry, because parry is surely going to stun him. And that is absolutely 100% completely different to what we trained to do with this game, to parry and attack. So once the timer is on cooldown, you could parry and stun and do whatever you need to do as usual. But once it's green up there on the top right, make sure you back off and just attack into, but with intercept. So you want to use intercept or whole block without initiating or letting parry go into effect. So let's fire up this SP2, try to bring him down as far as possible. Again, he's stunned. And that reflective stun went into effect. And we're going to fire up that SP1 just to bring him down as much as possible. And here we go. So I'm thinking, and after I studied the gameplay and I looked back and reflected and looked at the champions that I had on the roster, and I just completed a video which ranks 1 or which 6-star rank 1 champion we should take to rank 2. In my opinion, the best champion to bring into this gameplay, because of her immunity to stun when she has the diamond form, would be Emma Frost. If we had Emma Frost on the team before we decided to rush in and just gameplay it, then we wouldn't be getting that stun reflected onto us, because she's stun immune once she's in that diamond form. So for 50% or 90% of the time, we wouldn't have to worry about a stun as long as she's in diamond form. And she's in diamond form a lot of the time once the opponent has more power or more bars of power than you do. So in my opinion, looking back and after this gameplay here and recording this video, in hindsight now, we want to bring in Emma Frost to the gameplay, and I'm thinking she's going to be a much more effective champion for this quest, and especially with the stun immunity. And the next time I complete this these parts, because I'm going to have to complete it 100%, Emma Frost is definitely going to be on the roster, and we're going to see how much better she is and how much more effective she is. And I'm thinking she's going to be very, very effective in this gameplay. And if you agree with me, and if you have tried Emma, please leave comments below and let me know if that was the right move or if that is going to be the right move. Anyway, Nick always gets the job done eventually. And I'm not worried about him too much because he's still the decoy. He hasn't gone into Nick Fury mode yet, where he could get that absolute damage, take some hits and get down there. But this 5-star rank 5, it takes a lot of beating to get him to the Nick Fury stage anyway. So we have Nick Fury as a rank as a 6-star as well, but it's rank 1 unawakened. So I've decided not to take him up before Emma to rank 2, because he's not awakened, and I have the rank 5, which is already awakened at a 200 sig level. So he's an absolute beast, as you can see here when we fire off these hits. And that's it. Luke Cage is in the bin. He is done. And we're going to go on to the next fight, which is against Sentry. And again, like I said, skill champions, you want to bring in skill champions into this game. If you don't have a Nick Fury that could take this beating and dish it out, as you can see, this is the real Nick Fury now. Look at that blade damage. It's just insane damage going on here right now. So if you don't have him, you want to bring in maybe a champion that is not going to just initiate stuns. So Gwenpool might be good, but again, Gwenpool stuns a lot. And if she starts chaining that stun and that reflective is active, she's just going to be reflected stun all the time. So I'm thinking she's the wrong choice for this. So bring someone in with bleed or someone in with stun immunity. And again, save yourself the time. Just bring in Emma Frost for this fight, these fights, and it should be easy peasy. Because she's just going to wreck everyone as normal gameplay because she's stun immune. So we have 1, 2, 3 fights before the Psycho boss. And that Psycho man right there, we're going to be taking him on. He was pretty easy to beat with Captain Marvel. She built her charges, she went indestructible, and she wrecked him with an epic gameplay. But she's already out of this fight. I wasn't thinking when I brought her in too early. But here we have Black Widow. She didn't do too well in the epic gameplay. And that's because of that stun immunity, and I like to parry and I like to use heavies with her a lot. And I wasn't able to pull it off because of the reflective stun like she just did. And that's it, she's out again. So again, I would not bring her into this fight unless you're just using intercepts. And that's not just my style of gameplay. I like doing the parrying. So this is technically throwing me off, and I'm sure it's going to throw off a lot of members from the gameplay. But that's what we have to do this month, so that's what we're going to do. Intercept with the man himself, Nick Fury. He is going to wreck Rocket Raccoon with those blades. We're going to intercept again. We're going to try to get away from that SP2 if he throws it. And there you go. Because that is going to definitely wreck you. And that's it. The raccoon is out. Okay, next fight. Machete, or a lot of guys pronounce his name differently. Massacre or Massacre, Massacre, whatever you call him. He's the next annoying guy to stay away from. You don't want him hitting into your block. And with this reflective stun active now, see, the stun was not working properly on my last fight, legendary flight, on the first quest on chapter 1. I was getting clipped, although I was holding the block way before and not parrying, but it seems to be working on the second quest in chapter 1. So Nick Fury is out, and the reason I use Nick Fury first, and I like to use him a lot first, is because once he is dead, and if you die, it's not a problem. You'll have an extra 10% attack for all your champions. And the reason I like using Dr. Doom last is because for every champion knocked out on your team, he gets 10% attack. So he's up to 40% increased attack without using boost. And that is the way I like to play them. I like them on the same team, with Nick Fury taking all the punishment up front, and we finish off with Dr. Doom. And I also like to use as a cleanup guy Mephisto, because Mephisto actually gets persistency charges once he finishes off the fight with a kill. So that is pretty cool. He's out, and now we have the final fight. And let's see how many revives we're gonna use. Oh, not the final fight, sorry. We have this guy, this annoying, unstoppable, unblockable Rhino. Okay, again, he's unblockable. That wasn't even the stun. I was holding the block because of the shock. The stun, sorry, reflecting, and I'm gonna get wrecked here because of the class advantage. We're gonna fire it off, and here we go. We're gonna try to farm that SP2 again. We want to hold block and be close to this guy so he doesn't go unstoppable, trying to intercept us with the unstoppable. But with his unstoppable and unblockable, plus that reflective stun, he's just annoying. So the man for the job is definitely Nick Fury. He takes most of these champions out with very little effort if you have him. So please bring Nick Fury into the gameplay. We're just going to revive all these champions anyway. and we're going to see which one. I want to test all of them right now on this first run at this event, so that we know how to be more efficient and effective on the second run, who to bring in, who not to use. And definitely Nick Fury is coming back into the gameplay for all these fights, because he is the most effective, in my opinion, right now for a lot of these fights, 60-70% of these fights. Captain Marvel was very, very good as well. Guillotine 2099 wasn't that good. It took forever to take down who was it? She-Hulk. So she wasn't really recommended for this gameplay. But now we have the final fight, and this video is going to be done against Psycho Man, the guy that is new to the gameplay this month. He was very easy to bring down with Captain Marvel. She's hard-headed. He has improved power gain. He's running on fumes, and then blood in the water when the attacker is suffering from a debuff. The defender gains a passive fury, granting 200% attack rating until all the buffs on the attacker expire. So I think the thing to think about here, he's going to have increased power gain. And obviously that stun reflect is what we have to look at. It's nothing too big here, and you need to stay away from him so the buffs fall off, the buff that he puts on you. Now, game starts. We just held block before he hit into us, so that reflective armor didn't actually trigger, which is good. I'm holding block here. I'm not actually parrying him. The stun is off. And we're going to try to do as much damage with Nick Fury here and intercept this guy to death. I want to see his SP3, but let's just see his SP1. SP2, sorry. Alright. Oh, some kind of weird graphics. And then we need to hold block for that final hit. So this is the first time we've seen him do this. Again, intercept. He's unblockable for that SP1. So I think pushing him to SP2 was even easier than handling that SP1. For some reason that SP1 is unblockable. Let's just try different champions. Bring him down as close to possible. So Nick Fury took him down to 44%. So definitely MVP for bringing this guy down. Human Torch just got clipped with that reflective armor, with reflective stun, sorry. And that's it. Let's bring in Captain Marvel. She was very, very good at epic mode. Let's see legendary mode what she does. I should have charged into him. I got clipped. I'm on stun and I cannot recover from it. So we really need to time that right. That was timed terribly on my part. But again, this is testing. This is to see what works, what does not work, and how to play him the second time around. And that is actually going to be much easier the next time. We know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So I'm just going to have to get rid of this Mystic Champion. She's doing terrible in this entire event. For me anyway. So I wouldn't use her again in this fight. I will bring someone else in. Maybe I'll bring in the Thing. And here is Dr. Doom. Once he stuns you, he really takes you out of the fight. So the guy that did the most damage is definitely Nick Fury. And is that damage over time? I'm not even going to revive him or the entire team. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I'm just going to use Nick Fury. I'm going to boost him up a bit. So I could probably, hopefully finish off this fight with one shot now. And hopefully you guys got a lot from the video. Leave your comments below on who you use, who you thought would be most effective against most of the champions on this chapter. And leave comments below, and so that we know what you used, and hopefully help with tips and strategy with this gameplay. But again, We did the heavy. And we held block for that second attack. And then I got clipped for some reason. So the SP2 is easier to defend against. I'm thinking against this guy's SP1. Let's just revive Nick one more time and we should be able to finish off this fight now with no problems. And don't forget to hit the like video and the subscription button. Subscribers really help out the channel. And here we go. We hold in the block and the bleed took him out. And that's it for Legendary Troubles by the score. So that's chapter 1 complete. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, work less, play more, enjoy life. And I'll catch you guys next time, which should be pretty soon. So don't forget to hit the notification bell. And that's Legendary Chapter 1 complete. You guys have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.